Hi, I'm Doug Ladd. Two rules, man. Stay away from my fucking Percocets, and do you have any fucking Percocets, man?
There you have it. There's the statistics, man. $1.48 trillion. This is what the pharmaceutical industry is worth, man. And they're making all this money off people who are sick, mentally ill, right? And the thing is, man, I don't know if you ever heard of the placebo effect, where they've taken a group of people who had a certain condition and they gave people what they call a sugar pill to one group of people, and then they gave this new medication to another group of people. Say they were suffering from depression or anxiety or whatever it was, right? And they didn't know which pill they were getting. They didn't know if they were going to get the placebo or were they going to get the real thing, right? And it turns out like 33% of the people who took the placebo felt the effects and got better. Now, the thing is with the placebo effect is that your mind has the capability of curing yourself, just your belief in the pill, right? So is it the pill that's working, or is it your belief in the pill that's making it work, right? This is the thing, man. I mean, during my fucking escapade of 35 years of drinking, a belligerent fool, fall down drunk, ruining my life day in and day out, I also dibble dabbed into fucking pills, man. Right? And this is it. We've all done it. It's something that's not out of the norm, right? Percocet. Fuck, man. Zoom zoom, right? Getting 90 Percocet a month, right? Because I fucked my back up multiple times at work, and these doctors are giving them out like candy, right? And these Percocet, they give you like, it's got oxytocin in it, which is like the love chemical, which gives you like fucking this feeling of euphoria, and it takes away pain and it gets you up and going, and fucking you can start getting shit done, right? But the side effects to these medications is that you get highly addicted to them, and eventually you need more and more and more to get the same effect. For some, I mean, I would get heavy constipation. Like, it was like fucking, this is a major thing for me, man. Not being able to take a crap because you're taking these fucking pills, like with Tylenol and codeine. There's a lot of these pills that fucking bind you up, right? But that's minimal, right? Compared to some of this other shit that's out there. You get into the morphine, and then you get into the fucking ecstasy, and you get into the fucking, they give Adderall and Ritalin to people who have ADHD. ADHD, which stands for ADHD. Give me a second here. Is attention deficit hyper disorder. Okay, so that's the one there, right? So, and they're giving them to kids, right? Fucking people, these kids who can't focus in school, right? Jack them up on the Ritz, right? This is synthetic heroin, right? The Adderall and all this other stuff, and major side effects from it as well. And these bastards, they don't care. The doctors are giving out these prescriptions to people, and then the pharmaceuticals are making money off them. And then you take it to the next level, people who are older, you know, like in their 60s or 70s, and they taking pills now for everything. So every month that they would go out and they would get their little blister pack of about 17 fucking pills that they got to take every day. You know, one for cholesterol, one for heart, one for high blood pressure, one for diabetes, one for fucking whatever, man. And half of this shit they don't even need, right? This is the thing. This is the society we live in. We live in a society that continuously makes us sick by the foods we eat, by the fucking programming that's been fed to us for numerous years since you were a kid. All this negative programming through TV and um, just going through the schooling system and your friends and your family, whatever sort of reality that you created for yourself, not knowing that you're creating this reality by the decisions that we make, right? And then you'll start attracting people into your life who do the same thing, and then before you know it, everybody's doing the shit, right? And this is the thing, man. Becoming aware of what it is and understanding that you don't need the fucking pills to make you feel better. Depression was one thing for me. Depression is basically um like when it's an energetic thing, right? And anxiety, it's an energetic thing. It's a stagnant energy. And what happens is that your outlook on the world is negative, right? You have a negative outlook on the world. You're either forecasting towards the future. This like you get anxiety when you start thinking about the future, which is an illusion. It's just thoughts in your head of something that's to come, but you give it a negative connotation, right? And then in the past, people who are living in the past normally suffer with depression because they're reliving all these negative moments in their head, which then perpetuates into the present now being, which then perpetuates into the future, and it becomes a negative thing. So now you get depressed. So now it's like, well, now they say, okay, take a pill because your serotonin levels are out of whack, your brain is not producing enough serotonin, and which leads to your dopamine, which is like your reward chemical that you get from anything that's pleasurable. Like, but now people are getting dopamine hits from fucking scrolling through TikTok or just these quick dopamine hits. It's the same equivalent to fucking taking a bump of cocaine. This is the thing, man, and it's all legal, right? This is what they're doing. This is by design. And this is what they're falling victim to, right? And as we progress in this day and age, more and more kids are just, stuck into their phones and have no concept of actually getting these dopamine hits other than fucking scrolling through TikTok and through Instagram and all these apps, whatever it is, right? And this is a sad society that we live in. And the foods that we're eating are poisonous. They're all fucking fake, genetically modified. They're designed to keep you in a low state of fucking consciousness, a low frequency. And then, consuming drugs and alcohol and everything, it all just fucking compounds and piles on to the point where your perspective gets totally flawed and life is just fucking bleak and miserable, man. You get caught into the rat race of maintaining your home and paying for your monthly payment on your car, and then the kids, and then the food, and the bills, and the fucking everything else keeps you in a perpetual state of what they call the rat race, is where you get up and go to work, and you may be at a job that you tolerate, or whatever the case may be. It may pay fucking half decent, and you do that every fucking day. You get stuck in traffic, and you go to work, and you deal with the same people, and then you come home, and you have this routine, and you pick up the kids from school, and you cook them lunch, and then they got to go to do this, and then you got to take them here, and then you got to do that, and it's just this fucking montage of fucking craziness going on in your life, which causes stress, which causes your cortisol levels to fucking skyrocket, which causes you to fucking age a lot quicker, causes you to want to fucking consume booze to fucking lower your state because you're just out of control because there's just so much going on. This is why people consume booze. They want to mellow the fuck out, or they want to smoke a joint to mellow the fuck out. They want to detach from their reality, right? That's being created, not by you, by the fucking everything that's outside of yourself that you're seeing, right? This fucking world of information and propaganda and lies and bullshit and wars and fucking viruses and diseases and everything that's being fucking pushed out on the mainstream news, right? This is the matrix that we live in, right? This is a fucking matrix that we all talk about that no one really seems to understand. And they say, well, how do you unplug from all this shit? Well, that's a whole fucking different video now, isn't it? And this is what I changed my name to, the Philosopher's Stone. Right? Perfect, man. And one of the many name changes I've done over the past few years, but the Philosopher's Stone, because I've dedicated my life to understanding how reality works, how to get myself out of this state of fucking being, how to get myself elevated out of depression, out of the anxiety, out of all the fucking anger. Anger was key for me, man. I was a fucking angry person, man, all the fucking time. Just an angry motherfucker. And when I drank, that shit would come out of me more so than any other time. When you're drinking and you have anger issues, guess what, man? You're hating the world and you're hating everybody else, and nobody's doing anything to you. It's just you hating on yourself and projecting it out to the world. And if someone says something that fucking triggers you, you're gonna fucking release this anger on them. You're gonna fucking, and this is the way it works, man. And then that just reflects back on you, right? You're not even really doing anything to the other person because we're reflections of one another, which is another video. And then it comes back on you, man, in a negative fucking connotation where you're feeling this fucking dirty, shitty energy getting fucking, coming back on you. And this is what causes this perpetual state of depression and fucking everything else that goes with it, man. But you understand how it all works, man. You don't need any of these fucking pills. None of them. And with that being said, I'll continue on with this little journey that we're on here. And I'll start talking a little bit more about how I got into spirituality and learned how my mind works, and learned how the reality works, and learned how perception works, and learning how all this shit from the outside is there to distract you and is there to put you in a low state of fucking consciousness, because these elites know that we have the power to create whatever we want. They know we have the power to create worlds that we want and realities that we want, but they want to keep us like slaves, right? And this is the way it's been. You go through schooling, you're a young kid, man, and then they're bombarding you with this fucking bullshit. It's like being in fucking some kind of, I don't know what you call it, man. They're teaching you shit you don't even need to know. Most of it was lies, and you're brainwashed from day one to think a certain way. They train you to be loyal workers in school. That's what they do. They train you to be obedient fucking workers and not be able to think for yourself. Because God forbid, if you start thinking for yourself, these guys start losing their power. And the more and more people that start thinking for themselves, the more and more power that they lose. So the mass majority of people, I would have to say 80% of the population, are in this mass hypnosis that they want to keep you in, to keep the economy running, to keep everything up and going. And at the end of the day, you're working for fuck all because they're taking it in taxes, and they're taking it in this and tax this and tax that and all this other bullshit, man. If you don't feel like you're a slave to the system, then you need to really wake up, because there's more to life than what you're getting. So anyways, I'm like almost 14 minutes in here. Felt good to get that off my chest. Whew. Anyways, I hope that made sense to you guys, man. I just want to make people aware of what the fuck is going on in this world. I truly do. With that being said, thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.